Hello everyone, and welcome back to United Flow. Manchester United's summer transfer window has just taken another unexpected turn. Manchester United are pushing hard to reshape their midfield this summer, and the latest twist in their rebuild centers on one name, Aru Bardi. Before diving into that headline story, there is important business to clarify around a deal fans have been questioning for days. Reports suggesting the Ederson transfer has collapsed or inaccurate. The move has not fallen apart. It has simply been delayed. The reason is straightforward: World Cup 2026 commitments. Ederson has been representing Brazil at the tournament, and with the national team advancing to the round of 16, there has been no window for a medical to be completed. The deal itself remains intact, with a reported structure of a £35 million fee plus up to £38 million in add-ons, tied to a 4-year contract. This signing represents Michael Carrick's first major midfield addition since taking charge, and the club views Ederson as the long-term successor to Casemiro in the engine room. Before going further, if you are following every twist of this transfer window, this is exactly the kind of coverage United Flow exists for. Subscribe to the channel, hit like on this video, and drop a comment below with your take on where United's midfield rebuild is headed. It genuinely helps the channel grow, and it means you will not miss a single update the moment it breaks. The bigger story right now is why United need more than just one addition in midfield. Rebuilding this area of the squad has been Carrick's top priority throughout the summer window. United have already missed out on several primary targets. Elliot Anderson, Sandro Tonali, and Matheus Fernandes were all pursued, but Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur moved faster and won those races, with Fernandes ultimately joining Spurs for a reported £85 million. Casemiro's departure at the end of his contract left a significant gap at the base of the midfield, and simply signing Ederson has not fully closed it. United's plan for this window was never limited to one midfielder. The club has been working to bring in multiple additions before the market closes, and that search has now led them toward one of the standout performers at the 2026 World Cup. That player is Aru Bardi, the 18-year-old Lille midfielder who has been one of the breakout stars of the tournament for Morocco. His performances at the World Cup have been built on composure under pressure and a clear ability to dictate tempo from deep midfield positions, including a standout display in the build-up to Morocco's meeting with Canada in the last 16. United's scouting department has been tracking him for some time, and reports indicate that positive assessments have consistently reached Carrick and the club's recruitment staff. Christopher Vivell, United's head of youth talent recruitment, is reported to have been particularly impressed by the player's profile, which is said to align closely with the club's current recruitment philosophy centered on developing young, high-potential talent. If you think United can actually get this deal over the line, type it in the comments right now. Predictions like this are exactly what keeps this community going, and while you're there, make sure you are subscribed to United Flow so you catch part 2 of this story the moment there is a development. Bardi's rise has not gone unnoticed elsewhere. Manchester City were reportedly ahead in the race at one stage, having held initial talks and reportedly proposed a structure that would let Bardi stay at Lille until the 2027-28 season. Real Madrid, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Bayern Munich have also been credited with interest in the player, making this one of the most contested midfield pursuits of the window. Lille president Olivier Letang has pushed back on reports about the exact valuation being demanded, stating there are very few clubs who could afford Bardi in the first place, while denying that the fee had been fixed anywhere between €80 million and €100 million. The pricing situation itself is genuinely complex and comes down to two distinct scenarios. If a club wants to sign Bardi outright and bring him to their squad immediately, the reported asking price sits close to £86 million. If a club is instead willing to agree a loan-back arrangement, keeping the player at Lille for an additional season, that fee reportedly drops to around £64 million. Lille clearly favour the second option. It allows them to keep their prized midfielder on the pitch for another year while still banking a substantial fee, and it protects the player's development inside a system they already trust. For United, the calculation is more difficult. Wage demands and contract length add further layers to any offer, and the club must decide whether it makes more sense to pay the higher immediate fee to strengthen the squad right away, or accept the reduced cost loan-back option and wait a year for reinforcements that are needed now. This decision is shaping up as a genuine test of Carrick's transfer strategy. United's hierarchy is expected to prepare a first official offer for Bardi in the near future, and how they choose to structure it will say a great deal about the club's ambition and patience under the current regime. Given that United have already missed out on 3 prior midfield targets this window, there is real pressure on this pursuit to produce a positive outcome. Fans and analysts alike are watching closely to see whether the club moves decisively or hesitates again at the negotiating table. While the Bardi pursuit dominates headlines, United have also been developing a contingency plan in case that deal does not materialize. Chelsea's Andrey Santos has emerged as a serious alternative option for the midfield rebuild. The interest has been driven partly by an injury crisis. Manuel Ugarte suffered a serious knee injury during the World Cup, leaving United short of options in a defensive midfield role. Chelsea, meanwhile, are reportedly open to selling players this summer to help fund their own squad rebuild under their new manager. There is a valuation gap between the two clubs, with United reportedly looking to negotiate the fee down by pointing to Santos's limited Premier League starting appearances and his loan spells at Nottingham Forest and Strasbourg. The player himself is said to be motivated to leave Chelsea in search of regular first-team football, which strengthens United's position in any negotiation. United are not alone in this pursuit either. Newcastle United have also been credited with interest in signing Santos this summer, adding another competitive layer to a deal United hoped might be more straightforward than the Bardi chase. Taken together, this summer's midfield rebuild has become one of the most important storylines of United's transfer window. Ederson's move remains on track despite the delay. Bardi stands as the marquee target following his breakout World Cup form, and Andrey Santos offers a credible backup route if the Lille negotiation stalls. Every one of these threads leads back to the same central question: how far is Carrick willing to go to finally solve United's long-standing midfield problem, and which structure, outright purchase or loan-back deal, will the club ultimately choose? If you want every twist of this transfer window covered the moment it breaks, this is exactly what United Flow was built for. Hit subscribe, drop a like on this video, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next update. And before you go, answer this in the comments. If you were Carrick, would you pay the full £86 million for Bardi right now, or take the cheaper loan-back route and wait a year? Let us know below, and stay tuned for the next update on this story.